Down to $95, that's the extent of my riches. Out of 99 problems, 98 of them is bitches. Out here hollering, what's ironic is I've honestly been trying to do what's right, but some joint legs in the air tonight like Phil Collins. I'm a sex-addicted introvert, sucker for a pencil skirt, looking for a shorty coming from work that I can pervert on my existential grind, doing consequential dirt.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Isaiah from Regular Irregularities. This is show number 51. I'm here with our usual Big Ice, Jer Bear. Today, Danny D took the day off, but he'll be back soon.
Wait, went down south. He's opened up another restaurant.
Yeah. Open up another Malibu beach house type.
It's really a PF Chang's, but
yeah, they don't need to know that.
Yeah, they don't need to know.
They don't need no shit. Let's let them think whatever it is they want to think.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing good. Jerry?
Meh.
Just meh?
Meh.
You've been in that meh mood lately?
Yeah, I have.
What's your favorite word that you use?
It is, because it's so indifferent, and it's one of those words that I use with endearment, but it's really, I don't really, yeah. It's one of those I really don't give a shit answers. It's, hey, what do you think of this color? It's, meh. Don't care. Indifferent. Meh.
It's easy. It just rolls right off the lips.
Yeah.
It's definitely a Wisconsin thing.
It must be.
No, it's just because a lot of people that hang around me and hear me always use meh, they've started adopting it.
I haven't.
But, well, yeah.
I don't like that word.
Meh.
I don't like that shit at all.
Fuck that shit.
I don't want to use meh. No
Oh,
thanks.
God, it's so depressing.
Meh.
So what's really crack-a-lacking?
Now we're back here at the 5th floor, and fucking cleaning lady said, fuck you. So there's shit all over the place.
Well, that's because you wanted her to clean naked, and she took offense to that.
Yeah, well, we got to find another one.
Well, you know,
Big tits.
You know what? I was on my mini scavengers quests on Craigslist, dude.
Looking for Easter eggs?
Dude, I have found so many fucking Easter eggs on Craigslist. It's almost unbelievable that any of that could be possibly real. So I was curious because there was a lady on there, at least I think she was a lady, that was offering a special quote-unquote cleaning service. And she said, you will not be disappointed. And I'm like, okay. So I email her and go, hey, I got like 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a living room, and a kitchen. What would you charge to clean those? Never got a response back.
Huh.
Never.
That was weird.
Yeah, you would think that she would want the money, right? Like
false advertising.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Totally false advertising. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but there's so many hungry females on there. It's like, like they would post something like, extremely wet and horny now. Please come fuck me, but send a picture first. And I don't know if that's because like they want to evaluate whether they're going to get wet when they see you, or if they're a cop and they just want to match your picture up with. But if it's consensual sex, it said nothing about making a payment. There was one chick on there. Quick, I have 2 hours. My boyfriend's gone. Please come over and rail me. And then some girl's like, I just want to suck cock, please, like begging for someone to go to her apartment or her home
and deliver her Mufunda cheese.
Yeah, just say, hey, here it is, open wide, Big Daddy's coming.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Listen, you will fucking drown in this shit. But it just amazes me, man. Between Craigslist ads and the back page, it's outstanding. It's how you can go on YouTube and there's like a wormhole and you get going from one YouTube thing to the next. Same thing with Google. Same thing on Craigslist. You just keep going through like.
He started with a maid service, and he ends up with people trying to proposition.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
it's like a portal. You fucking go through the portal, and you find this dimension of naked women who want cock, and you got to fight them out with a stick. And weed through them like a weed whacker.
Yeah,
kind of like the one that you found in a fucking
on the way here. All the weed whackers you saw.
you gotta use that.
I almost got up and left. I was like, that sounds like a good deal. I'll ever go check that out. Yeah. But yeah, it's just crazy all the shit that you see on there. And meanwhile, I put a posting up, right, an official logo of the show. You think anybody hits me up? Nah, nothing. But I bet if I said, hey, come join the regular regularities, I will suck your cock. I bet I'll get like 1 million emails.
quickly.
Yeah, quick, dude. My inbox will fill up fast,
Yeah,
Jack.
man. Yeah.
Seriously, man. So maybe I should just be some skeevy shit like that just to see if I can get some crazy people out here.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
You're going to get an old biker hag.
Probably. Probably with them like South African flapjack titties.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
she can fart on Jerry Bear's
She's
face.
got to roll them out, to stuff them in the bra.
Stuff from the old bra.
There's no telling what you'll find in there.
She'll come
Cell
through the door.
phones, money.
She'd be like, "You look just like my grandson." Now pull your pants down.
God.
It'd be so nasty, but fun at the same time. Would it be funny?
Gray pubic hairs
Mm-hmm.
in your mouth.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be in my mouth.
Oh, you got a technique where you don't get the hairs in there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's called not doing it.
This guy over here. Meh.
Meh.
I'm going meh right at you, son.
No, it's meh. Get it right.
How do you say it?
Meh.
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 It's soft.
Yeah, it's soft, and as you're saying it, you're expelling all the air.
It
out.
sounds tired, too.
meh. Yeah.
Sounds very tired. Very,
Sounds
very
like
tired.
it's in a video game.
Yeah.
What video game would that be?
Jerry Bear's video game.
Yeah. Jerry Bear's World.
Adventures of Meh.
Meh.
Hey, man, why does Boba Fett rock the Macedon skull with the crack on it? Where did that come from?
Did he get his head cracked?
It's a bounty hunter logo.
Is it? All bounty hunters have that?
Sure.
But why is that? Why would they pick a Macedon as a...
I don't know. Ask George Lucas.
He won't return my phone calls.
You're our next correspondent.
You are everything films anyway on this podcast, so get with your people to get with his people to
Call your
figure out why.
publicist. Call your publicist.
Call my publicist.
Yeah. I want to find out why they picked that. I'm just curious. I think it looks cool, but I don't understand why.
All I know is it's a bounty hunter symbol. I don't know. Because
I-
if you play Knights of the Old Republic, that's the symbol you get.
For all the bounty hunters?
Yeah.
Are they from a planet that has mastodons on it? Woolly mammoths or whatever?
I don't know.
I thought you were a Star Wars guy. You would know this. I'm just saying.
I want to scream right now.
You know, we're just trying to look for different universes, and we're using you as an outlet.
Sometimes I just want to shake you.
Shake me. You just want to give me shaking baby syndrome?
Yep. just want to shake you.
I asked too many questions too fast, huh?
Yeah. My gentle, fragile little mind cannot process it.
Fragile.
Poor little fella.
Yeah. Yeah. Meh.
Again.
Here we go.
What the fucking man?
Never fucking ends.
Yeah. I fucking know.
It's going to be addictive.
Never.
It'll probably
You're gonna
catch
use
on.
it when you're indifferent too.
I don't like that saying. Fuck that saying.
It's just like saying but I say meh. Same thing.
Like
Very
if a girl farts in your face. Meh.
Meh. No, that's more or less a
Then what would you say after that?
Yeah.
Good.
what you been eating?
Shit.
Shit.
Beef jerky. So, anyways, it's great to see you guys. So, I think we're done fucking around. Let's go ahead and talk about something serious. Let's talk
Get
about
on, Get on that shit. I know exactly what you're going to talk about, too.
let's talk about some crazy shit that I was, the connecting the dots.
Yeah.
as I would say.
Yeah, get on that, man.
It's just a weird thing, It seems like America has funded almost every major war, and it's scary, man. It's like, what's the purpose, And I want to quote a guy that really, really hit it home. His name is Jim Mars. If you're listening, Jim Mars, we would love to interview you. We'll probably throw some jokes at you. You're pretty old, but I know you'll have a sense of humor. But anyways, his saying of all the money we spent on the Cold War. Think of the Cold War if it never happened and we never worried about that. Where would the money go? If it went into schools and hospitals and more things that we need. How would you feel if we just went that route?
The America
Yeah.
would be further along than it
Yeah.
is now.
Yeah.
Isn't our literacy rate is piss poor, right?
It's going down.
Yeah.
They're dumbing us down. Don't you feel that? That's
Um,
another thing too.
You know, I always kind of felt, and not, and for fear of sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but I always kind of felt that they wanted a docile workforce, right? Like for example, if you like we were talking, we're all currently going through some issues right now with occupation, and if you really stop and think about all these companies, if you were to work for one of these companies, you would put your trust in them to take care of you, to do the right thing, and that's not necessarily what they do. But what they do is they bestow a plethora of rules and laws and policies on you to
Regulations.
restrict who you are. And what bothers me is some of that will actually bleed into your personal life. I mean, there's jobs out there that you have to have a specific kind of haircut. You can't have a beard. You got to tuck your shirt in. For some people, they're not allowed to smoke marijuana, but that's in their personal life. So now that those policies are affecting you, they're not giving you the right information to be an individual. They're giving you information to be a drone, so to speak.
Disney.
Not just Disney, but
There's many more.
yeah.
But
And you would think, like, if you look, and I don't know how your guys' education was, but one thing I noticed when I was going to school was that all the history books pretty much just repeated itself over and over and over again. It was the same old shit over and over and over again.
a lot of propaganda shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought so.
I was like, George Washington was the first president. Then we had a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
We had slavery, and then that's it. And then where's the real shit? The real down to earth.
Well,
shit?
the real juicy shit is now starting to surface. Like as more is
Slowly.
as more is known, more is shown.
Right.
And I think that if whatever the powers that may be, could be in your situation, it seems like you may lean more towards the secret societies,
Yeah.
the Bilderbergs, Illuminati, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It could be that, I don't know, but it seems like they may have had a hand, or something had a hand in it, right? To really kind of steer us. And I don't know if they're really even steering us, as more they're probably just running us right off the track and putting us right where they want us to be, kind of thing. Does that make sense? Like Jer Bear was carrying on, was it last week, about the pharmaceutical stuff. Like I was trying to tell him some helpful information about some biological breakthroughs that they made, and he suddenly twisted it into like these pharmaceutical companies, they keep you sick and they keep giving you pills, and then they create new
I agree with you.
You're basically
I agree
just
with
lying.
you.
They basically want you to be sick, and creating new strands of the old diseases and that, just to give you fucking medication for it, so they can line their pockets.
I believe
As of if you look at what Big Ice was telling me, overseas, like was it England, stuff like that,
France and all those. Yeah.
Yeah, France. The doctors actually get paid to keep you healthy. As of here, the pharmaceutical companies kind of run your fucking health.
it's all about money, man. It's
Yeah.
all about money. It's all about how can we get more money for more, how can I say it, military purposes. What other new shit can I get so I can make sure that we can fucking rule everything? Because let's think about it. I mean, it's awesome that we live in America, but you have to, at the same time, if we want to run through some shit, we can knock pretty much everybody out the water. We just, the only thing we really have a problem is we owe people money because we do shit with it, But at the same time, if we wanted to take some continent or some country out quickly, without even a snap of a finger, faster than that.
Well, it's called nukes.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And even then, you're kind of fucking up the world.
Yeah.
Well, America has a strong pimp hand,
Yeah.
right? If one of its hoes gets out of line, we do have a tendency of slapping the shit out of that country. We have no qualms about dropping bombs. You know what I'm saying? No qualms.
We
about
do it
dropping
quietly
bombs.
now. We just don't tell anybody.
A stealth bomber, then it's like, oh, that people wake up to the city on fire. What the hell just happened?
Yep. People get erased from existence, man. I just don't know. I mean, there's things I think that we'll never know, but there's a lot of stuff I hope, like we were talking about, that at least in our lifetime, man, we'll get the opportunity to actually know the
truth.
real story, the real deal, man.
Like the assassination with JFK, the whole entire thing.
You know, that's one individual. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, Big Ice, and I'll tell you my opinion, and I'll let him tell yours. That's just one individual. I don't really give a shit. I want the real juicy shit. I want to know how the fuck we got here, who made us, shit like that, and have we found somebody else? If we found somebody else and they never told us, that's what I want to know. But yeah, that JFK shit, you know,
We were on
But
the
that's one
topic of
thing.
like government conspiracies and
yeah, absolutely.
you know the whole cloak and dagger type thing.
Yeah.
That's one scenario. I mean, they blame the dude man for killing him, but in reality, there's no way he could have made that shot. Then they had the magic bullet theory where it was fucking ricocheting and hitting him multiple times. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
but
the video,
they have all the true information all locked up in a time capsule for the people after they're all dead and gone. They're supposed to basically relinquish that information to the public.
Right.
So no blame falls on anybody and no retaliation.
Well, there was some speculation that the
What's your
mafia was
take on
involved too. I think that his assassination was important in American history.
connecting the dots again, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was going on. I mean, there's some people that speculated the mafia had something to do with it.
Well, at the time, weren't we they were trying to get him to agree for us to go to war, and he wouldn't, and then they offed him, and then we went to war.
Well, yes,
that's
and
usually
no.
what happens.
Yes and no, because
in history,
Jeff, if you ever get a chance to look into the Bay of Pigs, that was a Cuba situation. Some people speculated that Cuba had something to do with his assassination, and some people say it was an inside job. We don't know.
What if we was trying to oust the truth about what's out there?
That's possible too. I mean, you don't
They always
know.
talk about shit was done in the 1950s and that
Right.
happened in 1960s.
Mhm.
So what if he was trying to tell, hey, this is what's going on?
What if he was the one?
Pop.
What if he was the one that was going to peel back the lid on that and go, "Hey, look, America, there's some serious shit that's going on here." You know, it's very possible. I mean, you just don't get assassinated for no reason,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
there's always a reason.
yeah.
For
If it was a random killing, it would have been like an AK-47 and it'd been a lot of people dusted. But whenever you're trying to take out one guy, that's a big fucking deal, man.
Yeah.
That's serious shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just fuck around.
It's hard to believe that his Secret Service or whatever people didn't have the whole area surveyed or something.
A
you
bit
know?
suspicious, yeah.
It's, it's
Well,
kinda like-
they speculated that too with the Ronald Reagan shooting. You know, they said there were 7 bullets and the guy only had a revolver. Then they're saying that there was a picture of a guy in the window with a rifle.
crouching. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
and
that.
he was shot in a downward angle or something like that. But then
Yeah.
some people go, well, Reagan was going down, and then one of the bullets hit him. Some shit like that. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I don't know.
I can't remember what the reason, the conspiracy theorists say about why Reagan was shot, but he lived, though. That's the main thing. He lived. Then he came up with they call him, instead of calling him Reagan, they call him Ray Gun. Started talking
Yeah,
about,
because we got into the Star Wars program and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I just don't know. I mean, there's so much information and so much misleading information. You know, a lot of speculation, man, but that's all it is, really. Because, whoever doesn't want us to know is doing a pretty good job of not letting us know.
Yeah, or putting it right in our face. We just can't figure it out.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah, I can get behind that.
No.
If you want to hide something, you hide it in plain sight,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's pretty fucking smart,
Yeah.
right?
Like-
Still can't connect the dots.
Like
though.
that time I walked out of, I'm not going to mention, but I needed a remote, and I waved it at him. And then he was, right, he didn't even know. They didn't, I'll just say, hey, you guys have a nice day. And they're like, okay, cool, bye. I'm like, sweet, got a remote. I had it right in front of him, waved it at him. If you want to hide something, you do it in plain sight.
Yeah.
Period, dude. And then maybe it's all in front of us and we see it anyway. But I think sometimes we get glimpses of things, and I'm like, did I really see what I think I saw? Or is it just my brain making some shit up? You know what I mean? You ever blink and go, what the fuck was that?
Deja vu.
I get that a lot. But, like, sometimes they say you have a blind spot in your eyeballs that your brain just grabs an old image and puts it in. Like, sometimes you think someone's behind you and you go, what the hell? And you turn around, they're not there. But there's times I'm looking forward. And I don't know if it's because I don't have my glasses on. But sometimes I swear I see things. And I see different shades of light. I've always seen that. And I just figured, eyeballs are shitty, diabetes. I don't know. Fuck, I'm retarded. I have no idea what it is. But sometimes I'll see light change in a section, and I'm like, I blink my eyes and it's fine again.
Do you ever sleep and you can't move? You're like awake, but you can't move, and then you're finally awake, and then you start moving, like you're fighting to move. You can't move.
I can't.
It's a weird feeling. You ever have anything weird when you're sleeping?
Not really. I have a lot of lucid dreams though, where I can control a lot of them, but I don't. Nothing that's paralyzing like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that fucks with me a lot, man. I have weird dreams where I'm like, I'm awake, but I'm not awake. I'm sleeping, but I can't move. I can't move my body. My brain is trying to tell my arms to move, but I cannot move. And after a while, after a few seconds of fighting, then I start to move and I wake up. You never felt that before?
No, I can't say I have. I've had dreams where, I was dreaming I was like fighting people on a cliff, and then they kick me off, and then I start falling, and then right before I hit the fucking ground, that's when I wake up, and here I'm like, my body's like thrown itself in the air, and I fucking drop down, and I freak out even more.
Really?
I've had that happen to me.
That's
I'm like, oh god! I just start screaming.
Like wake up the whole house type screaming?
Yeah, because it fucking freaks me out.
Okay, so
when I wake up right before like I hit the fucking ground, it's like I'm already in the air because my body. I don't know if my body convulses or something, but I wake up right before that fucking split second before I hit the ground, and meanwhile my body, I guess, either jerks itself up to where I'm like hovering off the bed, and I drop back down. As soon as I make contact with the bed, it freaks me out because my body can't, or my mind can't process between the reality and the dream at that point in time, because it's happened so close to fucking together, and it freaks me out.
So you scrum and woke up like, let's say, Bobby or something?
Yeah, something like that. Nobody's ever came running in the room, but
they've heard you and they were like, "Hey, you okay? You had
Yeah.
a bad dream?" Really? You know what? I have to admit, I've had something like that, but I woke up the whole house. And they were like, "Yo, are you all right? Yo, chill, man. Wake up." And then you wake up. Like, I woke up screaming. I'm like, no, like that. And then I could feel my friend waking me up. He's like, yo, chill out. That happened to me before. It's fucking crazy. And, and we were kids, and he was my best friend, Jesse, if you're listening. I was sleeping over, right? And I woke up the whole fucking house. And they used to always just break my balls. You're like, fuck, thanks for waking me up that one night. But yeah, it was so embarrassing. I was fucking screaming in my sleep, and he woke me up. He was like, yo, chill. What's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. I was just screaming like someone was trying to kill me in my sleep. But I don't remember the dream, but I do remember opening my eyes and at the same time screaming. And then shutting up. Fucking crazy, isn't it?
Could have been a night terror.
Yeah.
Could have been a night terror, yeah.
Could have been some guy from the dimensions fucking with me,
Fifth
right?
dimension coming in to butt rape you.
I remember the last time I actually peed the bed was probably right around 12 or 13, because I was dreaming I was pissing on somebody, and I woke up and I was peeing my bed, and I was like, fuck!
Yeah, that's crazy.
That happened.
But you never had a nightmare like that where someone woke you up, or you were
Nah.
like, nah, nobody ever fucked with you when you were
Nah.
sleeping?
I mean, I've had nightmares, but not where I'm screaming like somebody's murdering me or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but like I said, I most of my dreams are lucid anyway. Like I'm in control.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, give me an example, if
You-
you can.
Like okay, so a lot of people always talk about, well, I'm having like this nightmare, this dream where I'm running, but I'm running really slow, right? And when I was younger, I could get those dreams, but when I got older, I'm like, oh, I remember this shit, and somebody's chasing me. Not today, motherfucker, right? And I would just fly. I'm like, it's time to fly, and I'd fly instead of run. Like I'm just involved in my dreams. It's like where a lot of people, their dreams, they just take them for a ride. I'll take the dream for a ride.
Really?
Yeah.
First time I was on 5-HTP, I dreamed I could fly.
Yeah.
It was one of those. It was kind of like the Superman thing, where in order to get me going to where I could actually start using my body to glide the air currents, I had to basically run a little bit and then kind of like Superman jump in the air. It'll like fucking pick me up, and as I start going down, it's kind of like a bird that I'll go like, you know, just start swinging my arms back and forth, kind of like a bird flapping,
Right.
and I'll push myself back up.
Yeah, I never had a dream like that. That must be like,
It's fucking weird, but it's awesome at the same time. It's like, yes, I'm flying.
yeah,
And I don't
that's
like that.
amazing though.
Yeah,
That-
like I'm gonna say probably 98% of the dreams I
like
have.
you knew you were dreaming.
Yeah, I
like your
already
body,
knew.
your brain was smarter in the dream. Like knew, hey, I'm dreaming here, so let me fuck this.
I just
let me
know I'm
do-
dreaming. Yeah, that's the weird part. Like I'm involved. I'm just involved.
Do you
in the
remember
dream.
anything lately? Like lately?
Nah, not really, man.
They tell me they the rumor out there is the dreams are part of your conscience that can travel anywhere, which is crazy. Does that
like,
make sense?
Like there's some speculation that whenever you dream, you know, your conscious goes somewhere and it connects with other consciousnesses out there in the world or the universe, so to speak, and that you can reach out and some people say that the dreams you're having with people in it that you're not familiar with are just people that you haven't met. They're like, you know, maybe they're just in another state somewhere and they're dreaming too, and you just happen to connect in that dream.
That's interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have a lot of people I have never met
Yeah.
before, and usually in my dreams, I
Mhm.
usually have sex with them. But then weird shit
Nasty.
happens, like fucking arachnophobia, where there's like giant mutated fucking spiders like come and it, like, you know, I get like weird shit that happens afterwards. And it's, meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, shotgun, bah, come get some, bah.
And so, like that dream I had with you in it,
Yeah.
and you kept on trying to talk me out of like I kept antagonizing the people that were trying to kill us. And you're like, just shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut the fuck up. I'm like, nah. I'm like, watch this shit. I was like, get some. You're like, why? And I'm like, because it was a lucid dream. Right? I couldn't control him, but I could control myself. I'd be damned if someone's gonna fuck with me in my dream. It's my dream. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's one of them one of them times he like snorts a fucking line of coke. And he's like, "Say hello to my ill friend."
start dusting in people in my dreams.
Dreams are crazy just in general. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I have to say, of course, I know I'm dreaming, but I don't remember them, and that's my problem at today. I don't
Yeah.
remember any of them. It's awesome if you can remember them.
Oh, I do. Tell
Remember
me if
most
you,
of them?
if you guys had some type of dream that you remember from childhood on, because it happens and it always wakes you up because it freaks the fucking shit out of you. For some reason, it's like the whole entire world shrinks to where everything's large, like the fucking table, like books on a table, a fucking ball, all that shit. You're kind of just like surveying everything. But it always ends with like somebody taking a fucking needle and trying to stick it in your eye. And right before it hits my eye, I always fucking wake up freaking out. And that's one of the things from being little on. I've had that dream like 4 fucking times, and each time it scared the shit out of me.
Oh, that's weird. That's like a reoccurring dream, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it happens at different like intervals in my life. All of a sudden, I don't know if my subconscious goes back to that while I'm dreaming, and then it fucks with me again. And because it's like, I remember this. This looks familiar, and then as soon as like the fucking needle starts to almost hit my eye, then I freak out and I wake up again.
There's
Jesus.
2 dreams I remember as a kid, but the one that I just told you about, not able to move, that fucks with me. But the one I always remember, I still remember to this day. I don't dream it; it doesn't happen, but I remember it because it was that powerful for me. Was me and my mother, we decided to move to Chicago. You know, she met the love of her life. We decided to move. Fuck it. So we moved. And we moved to some cousin's house, her cousin, which was obviously my cousin. So we took their room. So, you know, I'm probably like 3 or 4 years old. I sleep next to my mom. And in this dream, I could wake up in the middle of the night and I saw above me like an angel or something opening their arms. and it would scare me. It would scare me so bad that I would close my eyes because I didn't want to see it because it was scary. And then every time I opened my eyes, I would see this person open their arms. Every time. So I would say I opened my eyes like 5 times in that night, and I could see that person open their arms. And every time I would close my eyes is when they were halfway opening their arms. It was scary. And I'll always remember that. That's a crazy dream that I'll never forget. Never.
That's funny, dude. So I have 2 that are reoccurring. One I can't tell you much about other than the fact it's the same chick over and over again. And it's different things, too. It's not like just sex. It's almost like conversation. It's almost like there's been times where she's evaluated like some of the things that I've done. This sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
Like something could have happened, good or bad, doesn't matter, neutral, and go, hey man, the other day when you cracked that joke, blah 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 blah. Okay, for example, like, and this didn't happen, at least that I remember, but to give you an example, let's say I cracked a joke about the shrimp that you left in your van and you decided you're going to eat. Okay.
Which didn't happen, by the way. I had it in a cooler, but go on.
Okay, so let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that happened, right? She would say, okay, well, remember when you were breaking Jerry Bear's balls? I'm like, yeah, that shit was funny, man. She's like, well, maybe it wasn't too funny to him.
That's right, it wasn't. I like that chick
Like
already.
that, almost like, you really need to think about what you say before you say. Almost like a mother figure, but more than that, like a guide, like someone who's guiding me, kind of thing. So I'll have different, and there'll be good things too. And she'll be like, "Hey man, that time that you farted and that was hilarious." And she has a sense of humor. She knows she's an intelligent girl, whoever she is, right? I always get that one. And the other one I get, and I've been getting it my whole life, is I wake up and I'm at a table, and there's different versions of me at that table. Right? It's a long table. And there's different versions of me, and there's seats that are empty. Then they're supposed to be filled with a different version of me. And the different versions of me act differently than I do. See, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Wow.
There's an old Gandalf-looking version of me who sits at one end, and the other end's empty.
Wow.
And next to me is a guy. Next to him, there's 2 empty seats, and on the other side, there's like a seat or 2 that are empty, and then there's like 3 or 4 other me's. Right? And we all sit down and we discuss stuff. We talk. But we never talk about why those other seats are empty. And every time I have those dreams, the Gandalf guy's like, hey, we got some stuff we got to talk about. And we're just shooting the shit. I mean, it's a bunch of me in the room, so it's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be entertaining for me, right? But whenever I get to where I want to ask about who's supposed to be in those other seats, I wake up. I never get the answer. I never get a chance to ask.
Maybe it's like one of them, like Jet Li's movie, The One. Maybe it's something like that.
I don't know.
But subconsciously, when you're in your dream, you're contacting the other yous in the other dimensions, so to speak. And you're sitting down
deep.
talking to people. Or
Maybe.
talking to yourself.
We're all talking.
Do you remember the
But in the other-
conversations that you have?
Yeah, just sometimes it's just real general. Like, you know how we have conversations on this show?
Mhm.
It could be conversations like that. And like I said, there's different versions of me. There's a very serious version of me who's like very analytical and is just always analyzing, and they all lean on him like for a very direct answer, right? Then there's like goofy me's. There's one of me that like loves to walk on the table. Gets up, walks on the table, and is like, it almost acts like a clown, almost.
Really?
Yeah, then there's like the fucking
bugged out,
yeah,
man.
bro. And there's another one of me. It's just he's fucking Papi Chulo. You know what I'm saying? You know,
It's
and then,
called split personalities.
yeah. But I mean, it's crazy because they feel and they are me, but they're not. They all have their own personalities, but we're similar. We're the same at the same. It is weird, man. And some of them I think are different stages of me as I am, like the Gandalf version of me. And it's just like, wow. And then they're all dressed different, and they all act different, and they all have their own mannerisms. But at the same token, I'm like, God, these guys are me. This is weird. But who are the guys that are missing in those seats? How come there's not a guy at the other end of the table? Like, we look towards the Gandalf me as the ultimate, right? Like, whatever he says goes. Like, this is it. I mean, when he speaks, everyone listens. There ain't no now
The
when
wise
he's
one.
right when he's not speaking, everyone else is fucking cutting up. You know, one guy's farting on the other guy, and you know, one guy's like, "Hey man, what the fuck you walking on the table, asshole? Get off the table!" You know, and the other guy's like,
maybe the older one is supposed to represent like you later on in life, and as of the younger one or the ones that are missing is probably like the younger version of you, but maybe with your life choices and like how we talk about like different parallel dimensions, so to speak. Maybe if those life choices killed off those ones by accident with the decisions that we made.
None of them seem very threatening to me, though.
But I'm just saying, like, the different decisions that you've made in life can alter what you would be like in the future.
This is true. This is true.
So
I thought about it. I thought about, are these just different guys that are different times in my life? But
You have that dream a lot?
enough where I can recite, like, I could see them. Like, in my brain right now, I've had it so much, I can see them. I can see them that one of them is wearing a brown jacket. Always wears the same goddamn brown jacket. I've never owned a brown jacket like that, ever. And I can see it. And they got different haircuts. Some wear hats. Some wear glasses. You know what I mean? Some got a different smile, but they're still me. But they're different me's. This is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand if they were just, like, a part of me. Like, this is happiness, this is joy, this is anger. That's not even the case. That's not even the case. Like, we all know we're the same, but we all know we're different. Right? So, like, the analytical guy's like, hey, look, man, you know, we only got like $100 in the bank. We should really start thinking about not eating out. You know what I mean? Like, and that could be a topic of discussion. And then there could be another me, hey, man, I got this guy who knows this guy who likes to invest money and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then there's other times like, yo, man, did you check out the Deadpool movie? That shit was bad as fuck, dude.
Basically, it's each subconscious personality that he has that's all meshed together that's in him right now that he doesn't really know of, but they're all fighting for dominancy, so to speak, in whatever is happening in his life.
Yeah.
That to me, that's what
For
it sounds
attention,
like.
right?
Yeah,
They're all there for attention.
You know, you got the one guy doing the fart jokes, which you have the story of you and your wife just starting out before having kids. You know, she thought it was funny because you were farting, and then she was farting, and then you were farting, and she was like all giggly, and then you shit yourself.
Yeah,
and
and it ruined that.
Joke's over.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly. but they don't seem like they're in competition at all. It just seems like almost like a board meeting and a party at the same time. You know, because sometimes we eat, we drink, we break bread, you know, and it's like when I wake up, like it's almost like it goes white, and I open my eyes, and I'm in my seat, like my seat, and there's always the one me next to me. That dude's always chilling, and then there's the other me's, and it's never like we're at each other's throats. We're never mad at one another, but we could be at odds. Like, I don't know if that's a good idea, man. If you should be doing that, you know what I mean? You know?
That's bugged out.
Yeah.
Man. That's out there. I mean, the not able to move and you're fighting yourself to move, and then you
Right.
move and wake up. That's bugged out. But that is far out. That's far out, bro.
That is the one.
Yeah,
Jeremy.
that is the one. Like,
You're
holy
basically
shit.
in your dreams, subconsciously, you're talking to your
Yeah.
other.
For you to
person,
control
the other yous.
your dream is fucking far out. But to fucking, you know,
Yeah, it's called lucid or lucent dream.
Yeah, I don't have those.
Try
Maybe
it.
maybe it's a different level.
Try it
Maybe
next
you're
time.
an old soul and you don't even know it.
You know, I've been told that before, man, but I don't know how that even
And
works.
maybe you've
but-
been here a lot already. Maybe I'm still kind of new. Maybe me and Jer Bear are still
Our
new
souls that.
But we don't know that. Maybe you're not. But
Well,
maybe you've been here.
I read something. I read something on not to stray off topic because we're going to
Sure.
come right back.
Right.
But I read something today on Yahoo that they're saying that birthmarks and that on you is basically how you died in your previous life.
Huh.
So, like, if you have like a birthmark on your head, chances are somebody either like fucking stabbed you or shot you in the head. Or if you have like a birthmark on your chest, chances are somebody fucking stabbed you in the heart or some shit.
Somebody clipped me like they clipped Jesus.
Yeah.
Spirit aside.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too fucking.
You never know.
I thought it was I thought
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was entertaining. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wonder if that's actually true.
Yeah.
But
But
going back to the dreams.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We can go back to the dreams.
But what bugs me out is that there's always the same guys talking about maybe this is just a vessel this is your certain vessel right now, and when you die, and me and Big Ice talk about this, we want to believe that there's something in the clouds that you go in there and you fucking bathe in gold water, which is no such thing. But hey, we'll say
Right,
it is,
yeah.
right? But what if you just change body, reincarnation, basically, but you're another human being?
I do, to a point. I do kind of believe in reincarnation, just for the fact of growing up. This is probably one of the things that spur my my love for the Dark Ages and shit like that. But growing up, I always had, even as a kid, I had a dream of somebody, basically myself in like a suit of armor, kind of like a commander or a general, but I'm in an adult body, like the body that I'm in now, from when I was a little kid. So to me, I couldn't piece it together, but I kind of knew that it was myself. But I was fighting in some great battle. But so I kind of believe in that reincarnation thing. So subconsciously, maybe, you know, that could have happened in another life. And I'm just reliving it as when I was dreaming as a child. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, it does. So it's talk about that scientifically speaking. Something called epigenetics. Are we familiar with epigenetics?
I've heard of a little.
Epigenetics.
Spell it out for us.
Oh, I can't spell it. I can barely say it. But
Well,
epigenetics.
I was
You can
just
try and
meaning
say
to,
it.
just
Okay.
to,
So
to clarify
so
for
these
the
are
audience.
so these
Spit
are
it. Spit it
so
out.
Today, you Junior.
today Stanley.
That's what it sounds
So anyway, epigenetics or whatever the fuck it is.
Epimagetics
I
or
fucking
something.
give up. Thank you. So anyway,
He tries.
these are the genetics that your ancestors have passed down to you, right? So we've heard that, you know, if your parents are really good at playing the piano, you have a very, very strong chance of being able to play the piano. If you're, for example, monkeys, right? You could take a rhesus monkey and it's never been in the wild ever been in the wild. It's been in the goddamn lab. You could show it a picture of a snake and it'll recoil in fear. It knows to do that through its epigenetics, right? So if your genetics are being passed down to the point where you recoil whenever you see something frightening that's dangerous and you've never seen it before in your life, is it possible for your soul or what have you to be reincarnated? There's a strong possibility there. You could just be getting recycled through the time, because in your body right now, all your history from all your ancestors, from all over wherever you're from, are in you, and the genetics are in you, and that could have been something could have been passed down to you. So who's to say the memories aren't passed to you too? They're just locked away in your brain, and when you have these weird memories of you in a night suit, that could have been an ancestor of yours that just got whacked on the battlefield, and boop, your little soul goes up into the air or whatever, and then it gets put down into another baby or something, and then you live on and so on and so forth. So scientifically speaking, there's some, you know, something to that, you know, if you think about it. So
Crazy.
look into that, man. That area of science is really making some really breaking ground, because it's not something that's new, but it's something that's really starting to get proven to be true.
Well, growing up, my brother, my cousins, we used to do like sword fights, but we'd have like sticks, or in my brother's case, he always had like a plastic little baseball bat. We always use those as swords. Ever since those dreams that I had growing up, of me being a knight or commander or wherever the hell in the field of battle, me slaughtering a whole bunch of fucking people, bloody mess. Even as a little fucking kid, it was graphic, which is something I never sat down and watched until later on in life. So, again, my mind's fucked up. But then again, like you said, it could be the genetics passed down from my ancestors, shit like that. But since then, when we did like the little mock sword fights and all that shit, not trained, I never really lost I never lost a battle against anybody else who was like 6 years older than me for like even the play sword fighting.
Right. So
it could be like you said, maybe the genetics,
the skill of wielding the sword could have been passed down to you.
yeah.
Right.
Mentally, I could go and beat them. I was quick enough, agile enough, always blocked, countered right away. They weren't fast enough to block that. But still the etiquette, like you said, of the sword. I never was trained in anything like that, but growing up, just doing the little mock trials like that, so to speak. That's what I call them, mock trials. I was able to slay anybody I went
without
against
any previous training.
without any training.
Like you just started putting it together and connecting the dots.
Yeah.
You saw the holes and the chinks in the armor, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that could have been that. I mean, how else can you explain that?
I
right?
don't know. You were probably like Achilles, and you don't even know it. Not Achilles, but who knows? You know,
Yeah.
just someone like him.
He could have been the famous Leonidas, the guy who's behind you
Yeah,
now.
man, that's.
You never
Could've
know.
been somebody.
is Sparta.
I don't.
Yep.
You know what I do? Man, there's movies out there that are bugged out, and I think I showed you guys this movie one time. I can't remember what it was called, but basically, he would. He died, and then he goes into the crossroads, and then he, you know, they don't let him go forward in life, like get stronger, because he fears everything. So, not everything, but let's say, you know, different situations in life. A bully messes with him, right? Fucks with him, wants to beat his ass, and he's trying not to fight the bully. But in reality, he should fight the bully. And then if he fights the bully, it shows that, hey, he's getting stronger. So basically, the crossroad is fear. If you can't succumb your fear, then you can't move on in life. You know, and that movie always bugs me out. And that's one of those movies that we talk about that, hey, there's a movie out there that you can, well, no matter where it is, you can watch. That's one of those movies. I can't remember who's in it, but it's a bugged out movie.
I watched a similar
Meryl
movie.
Streep's in it, by the way.
I watched a similar movie like that.
Yeah.
Because basically after they die, you have like these guardian guys that
They're like your
kind of-
lawyers.
yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
look at all your
All your
challenges,
yeah, exactly.
all your
You know exactly
all
what I'm
the
talking about.
events that
Yeah.
happened in your life.
Yeah,
And this guy never took any risks.
never.
He always stayed to the to the straight and narrow. That was it. Meanwhile, this one chick that he fell in love with.
Yes, we're talking about the same movie.
Yeah, she was.
Meryl
she ended
Streep.
up like
Meryl Streep.
saving her kids from a burning fire.
Yep.
Shit like that. So they're basically judging them on their deeds in life, on whether or not they go to heaven or hell, or they get basically if they don't succeed and they don't move on to heaven, they get reincarnated, so to
Yep.
speak.
Yep.
They get brought back down to the heaven.
Right.
Well, he ended
I
up
gotcha.
falling in love with this one chick. I forget the name of the movie, but I think like you said, it's the same fucking movie that you think.
One or both of you have showed me the cover of that movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
They the chick gets able to go to the heaven,
gets to the next
which
level.
is like a resort and all that shit for them. She gets loaded up on a bus, and it starts driving off, and he's supposed to get reincarnated on another bus. So, but he wants to be with her, so he ends up tearing open the door to the bus and running to her bus and trying to pry it open to get it with her. And meanwhile, you got the lawyer guys or whatever that were judging him and his deeds in life and how he never took a risk and all that stuff. They actually hit the button to allow him to open up the doors to be with her at the end.
Yeah, they let him go up in life with her.
Right, right.
But that's bugged out. That could be out there.
But
I mean, you know.
but isn't fear like the cornerstone of almost every decision we make anyway?
yeah.
It's got to be, right?
I don't know.
Whenever you're at the crossroads in your life and you have to make a decision, it's always fear that's there first. Oh, I don't know if I can do this. What have I been saying a lot lately? These aren't problems; these are challenges.
Yes.
So let me. Okay,
Can I
so
overcome this challenge?
right. So if someone was to take a truckload of dirt and dump that pile in front of you, and someone hands you a plastic spoon and goes, "Okay, well, I need this dirt moved from this spot to over here," what would be your first reaction? Fuck it, I can't fucking do this.
Throw away the spoon and just start shoveling with my hands.
Okay, so you got creative, but what's the first thought in your head? What the fuck is the point of this?
Eventually it'll get moved, but back behind me, and then eventually it'll get moved again, but back behind me, and eventually get moved again, but back behind me.
But
I just see solutions to the problem. It just takes hard work and effort to.
But is it a problem or a challenge?
But my
It's
take,
a challenge.
It's how you look at it.
Yeah.
right? But
That's-
my take was, I feel that your first actual feeling if they made it sound important, you would have that butterfly / fear, like, shit, I gotta move this over. You know, how am I gonna do it? You know what I mean? That'd be your first thought, like, you know, like when. It's hard to explain that feeling, but there's a feeling in your stomach where you're real anxious and you're like, oh shit,
Adrenaline,
I gotta move this.
Right.
I think that'd be your first feeling, and then you would come up with the creative shit. But that's just me. You know, I don't know how y'all.
I just hire some people to move it for me.
Yeah, but what if they say that? What if they're saying you? What if they're saying you gotta move it? There's consequences.
Well,
if you
like I
don't
said,
move it.
I'll just throw the spoon away and just start using my hands. Because if you look at the spoon, it only holds so much amount of dirt. But if you look at your hand, you can get a lot more dirt coming out of your hand. So I would literally throw away the small meager tool that they give me and use the tools that I was created with.
So you're
to
a
use.
quick thinker. You're a quick thinker.
Problem solver.
Yeah, kind of a problem
But
solver.
there's 2 points I'm getting at here. One is fear will always be there, right?
No matter what.
And it will, if you let it, it'll guide you down the path, and it'll be more fear.
Yeah.
2, how do you look at a problem? Is it a problem or is it a challenge? You know what I'm saying? And if you know people that go, I can't do this. Well, for one, fear told them already they could not do that.
They already
Absolutely.
defeated themselves.
Right. So whenever you say I can't do something, well, did you even try?
You notice you always have that knucklehead friend that will step to anybody, no matter if you know in your heart that he'll get his ass beat.
Right. Yep.
He'll always step to that person, no matter, even if you know he's gonna get his ass beat. But you, just not you, but in general, you're like, man, let me not fuck with this guy. Is that fear? Would you call it that fear? Like, I'm not worried about it. You know?
Well, the fear would probably weigh out the consequences, right?
Yeah.
And man, see, it's tough, man, because you're talking, because
Like you're a lover, not a fighter.
right, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Right.
Right.
You rather not deal with the confrontation.
Well, it's
You
not.
might- you'd rather talk about
No. It's not the confrontation that I want to avoid. I want the confrontation because the problem needs to be solved.
Right.
Right. This challenge needs to be solved. But what I don't want is the violence because I think that's
You
needless.
don't think that's necessary?
No, it's not necessary. So I'm looking at there's a conflict. I'm looking at it's not really a problem. It's a challenge. Let me see if we can come to an agreement.
Right.
Without beating the shit out of each other, right? That's how I look at it. And like what I've said it before, dude, when you look at a mouse trap, when you're looking at that, what is that really, right?
Well,
to
if
some
I touch
people,
it, it's gonna hurt my hand.
it's going to snap you. But to some people, it's free cheese and a challenge, and that's how I look at it.
I really want that cheese.
Because I'm like thinking, ooh, I can get excited to see if I can snatch that cheese before it grabs my thumb. Then I get a piece of free cheese out of it. It depends how you look at it. Some people would just avoid the mousetrap fuck it, it's a mousetrap. I'm not going near that. But then there's people like me, maybe the crazy motherfuckers out there. It's like, I could probably get that cheese off that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's where you're wrong, right there, with the cheese on the mousetrap.
But see, again, that
'Cause,
goes back to my theory that he's still that person, that knucklehead friend that say, I can do it anyways. Even though you and I both know that he can't fuck with it.
The only thing I was gonna say is we never use cheese on a mousetrap.
Use
We
peanut butter.
We use peanut butter
Yeah.
because they
This
have to
is a
sit there
yeah.
and fucking lick on it to trigger it.
Yeah. Well, this
Snap.
is simply
As
a
of
metaphor,
the
though.
mousetrap.
Yeah.
You know, once that thing snaps, the cheese is free.
Right.
It rolls
I'm
around.
Well, I'm not speaking about a literal mousetrap here. I'm talking. It's really a metaphor is what I'm getting at. But
Either way, I'm putting a trap on top of a trap to get the fucking deed done. That's it.
but in all reality though, man, it's your whole life is like that, right? Your life is a challenge. A buddy of mine used to say, "Oh man, every day it's a fight. It's a struggle. Life is hard."
Some days we're the sheep, other days we're the wolf. That's all it boils down to.
But does it have to be like that? Because every day you wake up, you make a decision. You make a decision how your day is going to be. If your decision is like, well, it could be shitty because of XYZ, then you're letting XYZ make your day shitty. Right or wrong. I mean, if you really boil down to it,
I totally agree. If you want to live in it's Stone in general, not talking about anybody in the room, but if you want to live in a cave and not do anything with yourself and just dwell and just, stay home and do nothing, that's on you. You know, you gotta want to go out. You gotta want to do things. You gotta conquer the fear, right?
Right. Well, life doesn't really come to you.
Yeah,
Right. You have to go to
make
life. Yeah, it's kind of weird like that.
You
Yeah.
gotta make it. You gotta,
Yeah.
And you know, for myself speaking, you know, I didn't want to go out there. I was home a lot as a young one. Not by choice. I wanted to go out there and do things. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't go out there and do things, because maybe I would have gotten into trouble. Because knowing myself, I probably would have pushed the envelope way too far.
Right.
So I'm glad I was grounded at times. You know, I was grounded a lot. I got in trouble a lot. So,
But all in all, you are completely in control of your day.
yeah.
You are completely in control of your life.
Yeah.
You know, so
Definitely.
now you can't avoid circumstances,
Yeah.
but you can avoid how you handle those circumstances, right?
Right.
Now, granted, some people seem like they're born with a lot of luck.
Yeah.
I can't deny that.
Yeah.
I've seen people fall up in shit and come out gold plated. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't. But if you're comparing your life to someone else's life, you're already fucked up.
Yeah.
You're already fucked up, dude. Whatever hand you've been dealt, you have to accept that
Make the
hand
best of it.
and make the best out of that hand.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't. There's so many people that they defeat themselves. You know, we go back to that a lot. That defeat themselves before they even try something.
I'm one of them.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not
to
directing
a point, but that's usually depression that hits me.
Well, we're not directing this at you. We're just
Yeah,
speaking
we're not
in general,
talking
man.
about you.
But it seems like some people I see, like okay, for example, right? We've all been at jobs, and we've all tried to get promoted to go to the next level, and we think our shit doesn't stink, and hey, we're great for this job. Maybe we're even the people's choice, and for whatever reason, you didn't get the
You don't
promotion.
get it.
You're right back where you are, and you're devastated. You're like, why?
Yep.
Why me?
Yep.
Why did that happen to me? Right? So the little green monster comes out and go, God, why me? And then the person who gets promoted, you go, what's so special about that person? Right? And you start beating yourself up, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, all of a sudden you just become very sour about the situation. And as far as I'm concerned, in that situation, I'm like, okay, well, if this is a company that I want to stick with, maybe I should find out what I did wrong, and maybe I should fix it and improve upon that. Maybe I'm lacking a skill, right? Maybe there's something I'm not doing, and that guy did something right. So one, I would go to the superiors and go, what did I do wrong? And what do I need to improve on? And then 3, I would get to know the guy who got that position, so I can find out for myself. Now, if the guy got the position because he's a cocksucker, well, I'm not sucking cock, so therefore I will not get promoted. But if the guy really got promoted based on merit, obviously he had more merit than I did. Period. Right? So there's these situations that you get into in life that you have to overcome those challenges and be stronger than the problem, you know? And that's something I always preach. I'm like, you can teach somebody a skill, a trade skill. You can teach somebody to read. You can teach them to lay brick. You can teach them everything. But what you can't, and I haven't found this out yet, and I'm trying like hell, how do you teach somebody willpower?
Yeah.
How do you teach that?
Yeah.
You
Persistence.
either have it or you don't.
I feel like
I don't know if that's true, though.
No, but here's what I feel. I feel like I have persistence, but I also feel that I have to get kicked in the ass a certain way to allow that persistence to go through. Does that make sense? Like, there has to be a good reason why I persist in it.
It all boils down, when it comes to willpower, it all boils down to the individual.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because each one is, willpower could be a strength of theirs, or it could be their weakness, where they lack it.
Okay, well, how do you gain it?
It's just like the people with I'm going to take smoking for example, because I smoked for 5-6 years.
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
You were a cigarette head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Before that,
No.
You met him as a cigarette?
No. He told me this, yeah.
And before that, 3 years before that, with wrestling and all that stuff, everybody on the wrestling team, they did chew. So I was addicted to the nicotine. When I quit wrestling and all that stuff, that's when I picked up smoking, because I was addicted to the nicotine. I tried to quit cold turkey right away with not doing chew, and I was sick for a whole entire fucking month. When I picked up smoking, got the nicotine back in me, I started feeling fine. So I smoked for about 6 years, and I quit that cold turkey. It all boils down to willpower. Some individuals have the willpower and the strive, so to speak, to accomplish their goals that they set out for them, and others do not.
But how do you teach the people who don't
You-
have it willpower?
You can't. It's something the individual themselves have to mentally set up for themselves. Basically, you can dangle the carrot in front of the fucking donkey as much as you want, but it's not going to go after it. Or you can use the fucking stick method and get them to move. It's either the stick or the carrot.
I don't know if it's that rigid though, man.
It-
I used
it-
to think like you.
mentally,
Right.
It all boils down to the individual. Like
okay.
me, I wanted to quit, so I quit. All the habits that I picked up from when I was smoking, I altered in a way. Like I used to have a cigarette with my window rolled down every time I drove, or had a cigarette after every time that I ate something.
Jerry Bear, I just can't picture that from you, man. But
So
it's crazy.
when just the thought process alone, always have to have something in my hand, I tricked myself.
Mhm.
This is where my willpower came in. It's like I desperately want to quit, but I have all these mental traits that are already built into my head that are part of my habit that I have to overcome. So I already thought of basically my escape plan. So every time that I to this day I still drive my truck with my windows rolled down. That's a habit of from smoking, having the window open so the smoke blows out. But when I was quitting, they always say like chew fucking gum, which is bullshit. Whenever you feel the urge, or I always carried a pen with me, just like a regular Bic pen. That's what I always put in my mouth for the longest time. I chew on it, even though you're really not supposed to. Or when I was riding and I had the window rolled down, I put it between my fingers to act like a cigarette until I broke myself the habit to make my mind say, hey, this is just a fucking pen. You're fine. Life goes on. Life moves on. That's it.
So you're saying they either have or you don't.
Yeah.
I used to think that, but I think there is a way to help people. I think there is a way. I haven't figured it out, but there's got to
brings
be a way.
about the motivation of the person. You have to you have to find something that will motivate the person, which brings back to the topic of the stick and the carrot.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find that specific carrot that motivates that person that you wouldn't even think about,
Right.
to try to get them to
right, because
quit.
we're all unique and
If
different.
you hear some of those quitting stories with like couples and that, the couple actually use sex as a motivation
to keep it going.
to stop the other their partner from
Smoking
smoking.
cigarettes, right?
So every time they had the urge, they'd have sex.
Huh, that's a new one on me, but that's cool. But
You just
For
read
me-
about the different things.
for me, with the smoking thing, I was a big pothead. I want to be a pothead. I know I can't be a pothead because certain life changes at this moment in time. But could I stop? Could I tell myself I'm not smoking? Absolutely. Absolutely. But willpower, yeah. Willpower, there's a lot of willpower. You know what I mean? But, man, it's fucking hard. It's motivating yourself and giving you good reasons. Your significant other has a big chunk of motivation that you don't want to piss off.
Well,
and I know you
yeah.
you have that.
yeah, but
big
they
eyes.
but they may have an influence.
Like for
But
her
they're-
to okay, like your wife tells you can't go out anymore. You've been going out way too much, but she's hurt by it. She's telling you, sitting you down, grabbing your hand, and telling you, "Hey, I need you to be home." You're gonna take that in consideration, and you're gonna use your willpower to stop going out.
Yeah, Yeah, but see, the thing is like there's the motivation side of it, right? The people aren't motivated,
You don't want to disappoint her.
right? I get that, but the willpower has to come, and I agree with you, from the individual. So that person does not have willpower. So what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to motivate them. I'm trying to let them motivate themselves with willpower. Willpower. I can't dangle willpower in front of you. I can dangle motivation in front of you. What I'm saying is, how do you?
the carrot? But yeah.
I can't. But the will.
You can't make the
your
bite on it.
willpower is. How do you teach that? And that's always been hard for me to understand, dude.
You can't.
See, you two probably agree with each other that you can't teach it.
No.
I'm just not giving up yet. I think there's got to be a way you can.
Oh, well,
teach
there's
it.
a will for a way for everything. Absolutely.
Well, there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, but
But for us, me and Jer Bear, we're in the agreement that you're born with it or you're not.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of things are learned, though. I think a lot of things are learned.
We've
man.
all worked. We'll use work because I mean that's what's common for everybody, right?
sure,
We
sure.
all worked with the lazy piece of shit that doesn't want to do anything,
Right.
and then you're like, "Well, I can fucking do it. I can do it." You know what I mean? And I slept probably less than you,
right.
but we do it, right?
Right.
That's just me and him. You know what I mean? Like me, I already know that I can go out somewhere, me and Jerry, and if we gotta dig a hole together just to, throw a dead body in, because it's a zombie or something.
Right.
I know that me and him can go out there, don't even talk to each other, just look at each other and be like, yeah, we gotta dig this hole. And we won't even talk, we'll just do it.
Okay.
And that's who we are.
I get that, but what if you needed to climb a mountain? Where would you find the willpower for that? Would you?
Because, and again, looking at you, looking at Jerry, and just knowing how Jerry is, and I'm using Jerry as an example, I know that dude will give 110%. I know that I'll give 110%. And we'll push each other, or you just push yourself. I know we'll push yourself because if we know we got to get over this fucking mountain to live, we're gonna do it. We're gonna give 110%.
But that's because you have to do it.
It's not
Right.
my time to die. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go.
But what if it's just an option to get over that mountain? Where do you find the willpower to take an option?
But see, that's where you come in, and you're telling me, "Hey, we could go this way." It's
I would
probably
say,
a little
I
bit
would say,
better.
look, we got two options
The
here.
scenic route or the challenge?
So you ask
I would
yourself,
go for the scenic route.
Okay, and you would go scenic or challenge.
See, but here I know that me and Jerry are the same. We're the type of people that would. What do you think we should do? We would ask, right? You would ask. I could see that.
Would you
I could
analyze
see-
the
I could
situation?
see you would be like, "Hey,
Okay.
what do you think we should do?" Should
That's
we
where
go around?
analytical comes in. That's-
Right, and I think we're the same in that sense.
But if it's do or die, we had to cross the mountain.
We're gonna
there
go-
was
we're
no
gonna-
but
we're gonna
there
die
was,
trying.
there was no going
Okay.
around
But-
anything
but
like that.
you guys-
We
die
have to
trying,
go
but
up.
you're gonna die
But
trying.
you guys are crossing motivation and willpower. Although they're siblings, they're not the same. Death is your motivation. I'm talking about willpower. When I'm talking about willpower, is like there may not be any benefit to doing any of that, and it's easier just to not do it. Do a certain
That's
thing.
also where willpower
that's where you would
also
come
comes in.
That's where you would come
If
in.
he
and-
if he takes that concept that he just spurted out with in a death factor that comes into motivation is if you don't do it you die, and then willpower is crosses that path. It comes to the life or death scenario. Motivation goes out the window. Your willpower takes over because you basically if you decide to give up, then then you die. That's it. If you decide to just lay there and let death take you, that ends the motivation. If you decide to live, that is where the willpower comes in because it forces you to go above and beyond your physical limitations to survive.
So then it comes down to a choice.
Yes. See?
But it's on a given situation though. It's
Yeah.
a case to case basis, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
So I just have trouble believing that you're born with it or you're not. I think that you can generate that like
The-
you can
the-
anything
like
else.
I said, like I was trying to say, anyways. There's a fine line between motivation and willpower. Some people have a strong willpower and the strive to do whatever they set their mind to. Other people don't. You can motivate them to do something, but you cannot give them the strive or willpower to accomplish that.
I don't
They
know.
have to find that for themselves.
I don't know
and
if I
they
can
have to
get behind that.
decide on that option to succeed or not.
I don't know, man. I can't get behind the fact that you're either born with it or not, because everything's taught.
It all
Everything's
comes down
learned.
to everything is learned. It all comes down to the environment that you were brought up in. I mean that
Okay.
all the environment that you're brought up in
Okay.
shapes you as a person.
Well, let me say this, right? If you can learn not to be, if you can learn not to have willpower, can't you learn to have willpower?
If-
Right or wrong? I mean, think about it, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't even know what willpower is.
Aaron from Texas just joined the show. He's not even quite sure what willpower is.
Welcome, Aaron.
Aaron just flew in from Texas. What's going on? Well, we're discussing like
Look
these.
like you lost some weight. Sorry to interrupt, Big Ice.
It's getting hot out there, man. It's getting hot out there.
Sexy one, you know.
But the point I'm trying to get across is if you can learn something, you can unlearn it. So if you're technically you're not really born with anything, you learn it all, right? You learn willpower. So if you haven't learned willpower yet, can't you learn willpower?
Again, and I'll throw it right on Aaron from Texas. Damn it! Stop laughing. Do you feel that you had willpower in you already when you were growing up? Did you feel?
Hardcore. I'm from Texas.
Did
We
you
all
give
have
up?
willpower.
Did you give up on things easily?
It's, for example, it's like the whole working out thing. I used to do it all the time, and then I gave up on it. I stopped working out, and now I'm back at it. So something to get back into. But you can forget about it.
Okay, but that's just one thing. But just life in general, would you feel like you have the willpower to do anything your mind sets you? You
It
can.
depends on what it is.
But then it comes down to a choice of motivation.
If you want to do it or not. If you really want to, then yeah.
But then that's not willpower, because what willpower is it doesn't matter if there's a choice involved or not. It doesn't matter if it's life or death. You just have the willpower to do it. And so, like I was telling them, motivation and willpower are brother and sister. You know, they're close, they're similar. You know, but they're not exactly the same. And they're saying you're either born with motivation or you're not.
No. Willpower.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're fucking shit up. You're fucking
yeah.
shit up.
They're saying you're either born with willpower or you're not born with willpower. And I'm saying that if you grew up without willpower, without being taught willpower, then you can be taught willpower. This all spurred because
I don't think you can be taught willpower. You can motivate people.
willpower has to come from an individual. We
The
agreed on
willpower
that, right?
has to willpower has to come from the individual themselves.
But if you learn something or you haven't learned it yet, you could still learn it.
On your own.
On somehow, some way, some fashion, it's possible to learn willpower. I just don't know how the fuck you do it. That's the problem I'm having.
You gotta
Because-
want it. You gotta want it.
Okay, but that's motivation.
Them
though.
as the individual has to want it. And yes, that's where motivation and that
That's
where
where
you
they're
said,
brother and sister.
yeah, motivation and willpower kind of eventually cross themselves into
Mm-hmm.
that path. Once
Into
you get
one.
once you get to that path, it comes to their choice. You can only motivate somebody for so long before they themselves have to use their own willpower to succeed in whatever the task is or the challenge. It's the same thing with the opposite end with the willpower and motivate. Again, like I said, my analogy, the carrot or the stick. You dangle the fucking carrot in front of somebody if they don't want to bite it.
Or you can threaten them with a
You
stick.
gotta
you
whip
can't,
him.
You can't fucking.
Violence is not always the answer, but I feel what you're saying. I feel good motivational
You can lead a horse
speech,
to water, but you can't make it drink.
I understand that, but
but a good motivational speech and if it's powerful enough, will give you the willpower. Would you say?
But
a
like
good
I said,
person would give for
the
gab.
willpower always comes with an individual. You don't know their life. Only they can realize what will basically cause them to strive to succeed.
Right.
And it's only them. You can't really teach willpower to somebody. You can try to motivate, and in motivating them, you can cause them
indirectly.
to realize their own willpower to try to succeed
Basically,
for
what
themselves.
you're saying is you can't teach an
But
old
you
dog
can't-
new tricks.
I think
you can't teach willpower. You
I think
can
if
motivate.
you give the time to teach an
Okay,
old
so
dog
let
new
me
tricks,
say
they
this.
can-
Maybe you can teach the mechanisms of willpower. Maybe not, because willpower is like happiness. Yeah, it has to be generated, right? Happiness doesn't come to you. You have to generate happiness. We talked about this yesterday.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
Aaron, do you give up on things easily? That's the
Yeah.
second time I asked you this question. Why?
I don't know. Try the next thing.
Fuck it, right? Fuck it. Just try the next thing.
Right? Don't work the first time, go for the next thing.
You
Just
just
how my relationships work. So
you just don't invest a lot of time in it. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work, kind of thing.
exactly, like my truck, I loved it, and now I hate it. It's not good in there, so I give up pretty easy.
But then one day you'll wake up and be like, oh, I fucking like the thing again.
Nah, because everything's working out pretty well for me so far. So
Gotcha. Gotcha.
it's all about the person to me.
It is. It is, but everything is. I don't know. I think there's a way.
I think some people could be born with it. It's all about how you're brought up too. So
But when you're brought up, that's the environment teaching you.
yeah, but you could
Right?
be born with it. Genes could be in your genes, right?
I don't know. Is willpower? Is it possible?
Could be.
I don't
Like
know.
Lion King.
We
Look at
already
Simba.
discussed our genes and
Epigenetics.
epigenetics
It's a big word.
and reincarnation.
Say it again. Say it again.
Epigenetics.
Epigenetics.
Can I get that in a sentence?
Go ahead, big eyes.
They are genes that have been passed down from your heritage, such as certain skills. It's to say your great great grandfather was a good marksman. For some reason, you are. It just came to you naturally. If your mom was able to play the piano well, suddenly you can. That's an epigenetic.
Oh wow.
Now, I have a question for you. Now, we were talking about dreams that we remember since we were kids that still fuck us up today. What dream for you do you still remember that still probably happens to this day to you?
I still have a dream all the time.
You remember those dreams.
Yeah.
But which one stands out that you remember when you were a kid
Well,
that fucks with you?
I always had this dream. Even now, I still have this dream where I'm in a fight in my dream, and the guy keeps hitting me, and I can't hit him back. Like every time I swing a punch, it just stops. Like before it even gets to him. And I always have that dream. Don't know what it's about, but it's weird.
Does it bother you? Does it wake
Nah.
you up?
Nah.
Okay, well, anything else
Just
that's
pisses me off.
significant? Anything else that's significant?
Does he beat the shit out of you in the dream?
Yeah, he does. I
You're
wake
like,
up painful.
What?
I wake up in pain. Like my face hurts. Like I get real bad headaches after those dreams.
Were you punching yourself maybe in your sleep?
Probably. Maybe that's why I couldn't hit the person. I have woken up with bloody noses before.
Ah, damn. Some violent dreams.
That's
man.
true. I got a mean left hook, right?
Put yourself in the fucking
Anything
head.
else that's just
That's
one
the only
thing
dream that really I
that
remember.
comes back to you since you were a kid that you remember?
Nah.
Are you ever able to control your dreams?
Nah.
Never.
Well, actually, I have noticed if I think about something before I go to sleep, I dream about it.
But are you able in the dream to control the dream? To control yourself in the dream?
No, that's a special kind of person that can do that. That's a very artistic person.
Not really.
I think
Let's say
so.
somebody comes out tries to fuck with you, and you're just like walking down
Then
the
it's
street.
probably gonna happen.
And then you're just like, you know what? Fuck this guy. All of a sudden you like reach back behind you. You miraculously have a fucking gun in your hand. You just shoot him or some shit. I mean, he's talked about shit like that where you could just pull shit
I
out
can
of
make it the guy disappear, just like,
Yeah.
oh, he's right behind
Yeah.
me. Oh, he's
Like,
gone.
like I have lucid dreams, and that's what they call those, is lucid dreams. So I enter the dream realm, whatever, and it's say I'm in your scenario. I'm trying to hit a guy in the face. It's not working. I go, wait a minute.
force choke.
I'm in a dream. I'm gonna knock his fucking head off. So I hit him hard enough where his head pops off, and I'm like, ha ha ha.
It's pretty gory. You might
Well,
talk
I'm
to
just-
something like that, dude.
You know, I don't know who he is, so fuck him.
Dark.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm able to have those lucid dreams, so I can control
Well, I've
them.
never really tried to control my dreams.
Try it sometime, man. You'd be surprised, dude.
I'm kind of scared.
Try to take over.
Take over Freddy Krueger.
Have you ever had that dream where you can't move and you're trying to move and you wake up? By the time you start to move, you're up. You woke up. Have you ever had a
I
dream?
had a
like
dream where I was falling out of an airplane.
that? Yeah.
That always happened in class. Never happened at home. Like, you know, that dream you're falling, jump up out of your desk. Always had those. Like,
Yeah, yeah. That was one of them that I was talking about, how I was fighting some people on a cliff and they fucking threw me off the cliff. Right before I hit the ground, I wake up and somehow I'm like, I don't know if it's my body like contorting or convulsing, but I'm all in the air. And then as soon as I hit the bed, I like freak out. But
Yeah, it's been a fucking dreamful episode today. It's fucking amazing. We've been talking about dreams and shit, you know. But thanks for listening.
Yeah, motherfuckers, we're gonna wrap this one up. Sorry to leave you with a mind fuck like that.
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
have a dream.
Enjoy that dream, asshole.
Go fish, pitch
Y'all take
pitch
care.
for a pizza, put
Woo!
the pig in. Scout bottom beater, nose bleeder, cheap seats to the meat eater, sweep, freak. What up? Grip clicker, smack a dummy box, fix picture. Sticker left for shit, cinema flicker and a plasma. The latchkey degree was obtained in his savage years, where we learned the binding of a wire hanger to rabbit ears. Every pixel that leaked out over the carpet had to be spit, shined, and hidden before the Ford Duster parked.
That's it. I can only do one side.